We are here for the first week of the 2024 NFL season, and we're going to be winning the week with Mitch and John. What's up, Mitch?
What's going on? Hey, I was a little worried we weren't going to have a lot of news to talk about. It's week one. We've been breaking this down, but Tyreek Hill was in handcuffs like a good 15 minutes ago. So at least we will have a little bit something, going on. It looks like he's going to be completely okay. He's going to start the game. It's just one of those things that happens, but it's a little weird to get.
It's just one of those things that happens because
it does in the NFL. This isn't an unexpected thing, to be honest. It's week one. This is what we're here for.
Yeah, let's fire up Tyreek Hill. Looks like he's out of handcuffs. Looks like he's at the stadium.
Yeah,
he should be good to go. I see everybody in the chat. Ty, Adam, THB, Eric, J Rich. What's up, everybody? All right. Well, I hope everybody had some time to go in to the DD Fantasy podcast feed and listen to Jeff Mueller. That's at JM Thrive PT on X. Listen to his 25-minute breakdown of injuries, what to expect for, a usage standpoint, potential re-injury risk. I highly recommend listening to that each and every week before you jump on and we take care of some start-sit decisions. There's some questions in the chat already. So before we kind of dive into the slate as a whole here, let's answer some of these. Mitch from Ty, choose one. This is Scott Fishbowl scoring. Ramondre, Mostert, Warren, or Brian Thomas?
I really want to go with Ramondre, and I think he is the guy that I would end up picking in my lineup. The issue is that offensive line is bad. They're already missing their starting offensive guard, and it's you're looking for upside, right? So for me, if I was going for upside, I would not choose Ramondre because I think he is the best floor play. I really like Mostert, to be honest with you. If I'm going to pick someone today, I'm going to go with Mostert because you're going to find out, John, I'm kind of hedging my bets against the Steelers and the Bengals this whole week. So Warren just isn't going to be on the top of my list.
No, Jaylen Warren, I'm okay with not putting him in here. Brian Thomas, I want to see how his usage and his route deployment kind of shapes up here early in the season. I mean, this is week one. We have the least amount of information we're going to have all season.
So we're going to see,
man. We're going to see a lot of scenarios where you go back and look at your lineup after the games and you're like, how did I not put this guy in my lineup? But again, as we get more information, as the season progresses, we have our start sit tracker here, which Mitch and I are going to be running behind the scenes to update weekly. But I'm looking at 2023 red zone utilization from both a rushing and receiving perspective. I'm looking at 2023 team defense numbers, where points are being scored against teams, whether it's on the ground, in the air, or maybe it's quarterback scoring, but kind of things are split up. And then we have our wide receiver cornerback matchups and injuries. Again, I mentioned Jeff's pod earlier, and then kind of high level projections that, you pull in. And then we are going to be using from Dynasty Daddy, the Dynasty Daddy start sit tool. So the way we're going to go through these, as you saw here with Ty's question, and we won't be spending this much time in future episodes, but kind of to give you an idea, Mitch and I are going to be giving our thoughts and our breakdown. And then also we'll be utilizing the Dynasty Daddy start sit tool that is available. And it pulls in so much data from projections.
One sec, John. Jamar Chase is not expected to reach a contract before. It remains unclear if he will play today. Just a heads up. There's going to be no contract so far. Schefter just put that out.
All right, so we'll know in 26 minutes if he's active or not. If Jamar Chase is active, I'm firing him up. You're not going to sit him if he is active, but we'll see how that goes. So talking about Jeremy's start sit tool, Sleeper, Number Fire, Fantasy Pros, Yahoo, FanDuel, DraftKings, all of those projections are pulled in, and you can do a side-by-side comparison. It gives you the average, it gives you standard deviation, the matchup. So there's a lot of good stuff in there, but we're here to discuss kind of the nuance with all of this, right? So for this situation, we have Ramondre. The Patriots are going against the Bengals. It's a situation now where T. Higgins, he's out. Jamar Chase, he's questionable to play. He's just so ill. He's just so sick that, he has the illness now. But that offense, are they going to be kind of firing on all cylinders against the Patriots? I think it's going to be a close game. Like that line, 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the Bengals, are they going to cover 7.5?
I'm not betting on the Bengals on that. There's no chance.
So looking at this, I like Ramondre this week. I really do. A lot of places they have him right around that running back 20 mark. But if you're in full PPR, he gives you the floor. He's going to get a lion's share of the work. Antonio Gibson, he's coming off of the hip injury. He plans to play based on Jeff's feedback. He was downgraded on Thursday. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a lot of things shaping up here to give me confidence in Ramondre.
Yeah.
But is that an indictment on Mostert? Absolutely not. It's between those two for me. I would go Ramondre. Ty, Mitch would go Mostert.
Yeah, if we hear anything about Gibson being limited, during the game, if we get in the next hour and a half, we get a little heads up on that, then yeah, I think it's a Ramondre smash.
This one from Adam, I think this is going to be a super quick one because you might not have a choice. Yeah. Baker or Russ?
It's a Baker. I'm never playing Russ.
This was Baker even when we thought Russ might play?
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, that's not changing. Especially, just to break it down a little bit, going against Washington is very bad against passing offenses, and they've really done nothing to help that out. So I actually love Baker this week. I love Godwin this week. I love Evans this week, so I'm all about it.
Yeah, if you look at last year, the Commanders gave up 20 passing fantasy points per game. That was the worst in the NFL. Atlanta, middle of the pack. So I think Atlanta's defense, it's a little bit better than people are expecting. But, they made a lot of moves to kind of gear up for this season, right? They made a lot of moves where it's like they're looking to compete, especially that NFC South. So either way, this was Baker for me. From THB, let's just assume full PPR here without further context. Olave or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
That's tough, man. I really want to start Marvin Harrison Jr. I believe he is that elite player. Chris Olave, he's already done it, right? He's going against the Panthers. He might get JC Horn a little bit. It's a matchup that I don't love. But look at the rest of that Saints offense. Who are they going to throw the ball to? I know Rashid Shaheed is supposed to be this DFS darling this week, but Chris Olave, we know he is going to put it on the field. I don't think it's a stretch to say he's going to be a pretty constant 75-yard reception guy. I'm pretty shocked it's actually saying to start Marvin Harrison by 2/3 over him.
Yeah, and again, so if you can see the screen, I know some people, they plug into YouTube and they just listen, but if you can see the screen, and please let me know if I need to zoom in, it might be a little tough on mobile, but this is the Dynasty Daddy resource here, the start sit tool, and you see the breakdown and the comparison. A lot of these projections favor Marvin Harrison. I am going to be going Chris Olave. So the Cardinals, they're going against the Bills. I expect that game. It's got one of the higher over-unders, and especially in week one. I think we're going to see a lot of lower scoring matchups compared to expectation. But then the Saints, they're against the Panthers, right? And you look at what happened last year. The Panthers were actually pretty solid against the pass. And I say pretty solid. They were the best defense in terms of fantasy points given up to wide receivers at 43 per game in full PPR. But like Mitch mentioned, yeah, they have Rashid Shaheed. They have the great Jawan Johnson, which we've had our history with Jawan as a guy that we've liked. But if they're getting 40 points from their wide receivers, I think there's a good shot Chris Olave could be getting half of those this week.
I completely agree.
So I think, and Chris Olave, he's one of those guys that you look at it and he is, up to this point in his career, an unrealized air yard, monster. We want those yards to be realized at some point, and maybe this is the year it happens, but I'm going Olave there. Pitts or Bowers?
This one, no hesitation for me. I'm going Pitts. I do not trust this Raiders offense at all. Maybe I will in week 2, but right now I'm going to trust that Pitts is going to get his work.
Yeah, we're looking at it. And again, the Steelers defense, no joke. I expressed concern in the DD Discord. I said these teams that did not see a lot of snaps or any for like somebody like Kirk Cousins, could there be some chemistry issues? Could there be some concerns there? That's one of the reasons I expect a lot of these unders to hit. But Steelers, Falcons, I think it's going to be a little bit more defensive battle than we would like. But that usage, and Brock Bowers, he's coming off of the foot injury.
Mhm.
So he's been cleared, all signs are pointing up. He's going to be playing, but really, again, like we talked about with Brian Thomas in that first question, how is he going to be deployed? How is he going to be, used here? So this is from DD Fantasy. If this stream hits 100 likes and you comment in the comment section, not the live chat, Jay Rich and I will give away the same hat Mitch and John are wearing tomorrow on Wake Up. Mitch and I were and this is, listen, this isn't me being a company man, guys. This hat is fantastic.
I love this hat. It's awesome. I was telling John, I want to wear it outside, but I don't want to get it dirty. So like it's turned into my podcast only hat because I don't want to mess it up.
It's got the snapback. I mean, you could use a better model than me, I think, but it looks pretty good. And then we got the all gas right there. We got the all gas. I went to a first grade football game yesterday. My niece is a cheerleader, and you better believe I had this hat on. It was fantastic. All right. So we got Pitts and the Dynasty Daddy tool. Kyle Pitts 100% across all the platforms here. Bowers or Njoku. I think we're going to align here too.
Njoku. Yep.
Njoku for me. Christian Kirk versus Miami or Keenan Allen versus Tennessee?
I think Christian Kirk has kind of been the forgotten guy down there in Jacksonville. He was doing really well when Ridley was there, and now they have a rookie with Brian Thomas, and they have Gabe Davis, who sure, maybe he'll, score a touchdown or something. But I do worry about Keenan Allen. My DFS defense this week is going to be Tennessee. And it's not because I hate Caleb Williams. He's a rookie and Tennessee has a pretty decent defense. And who knows how that really works out. So for me, it's really easily Christian Kirk.
Looking at it. So Tennessee last year, middle of the pack in receiving fantasy points per game given up. The cornerback matchup here for Keenan Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he here? Bear with me. Where is he on this sheet? Not necessarily a favorable matchup here against the Titans, like Mitch said.
And he's been out with an injury too. So how is he going to come out and perform? I think Christian Kirk is just a really, really strong play here.
Well, you say he's the forgotten player. He was dinged up. He was out a little bit. But again, he is going to be back. I'm hoping it's not like we saw in week 1 last year. If you remember, Mitch, Christian Kirk, he was the forgotten man in week 1 because they didn't run a lot of 11 personnel.
Yep.
People were freaking out. They were losing their, and then he really bounced back. Keenan Allen, and I keep referencing Jeff's work here because, again, it was a 25-minute pod. I told Mitch, I said, listen, you got to listen to this Sunday morning. He said, I'll do you one better. If it's available Saturday night, I'll be listening to it Saturday. That's the commitment right there, Mitch. But Jeff had Keenan Allen. He's expected to play. He had the heel injury. But this type of injury, and he compared it to Hollywood Brown, maybe he's a little slow out of the gate. Maybe he's not creating separation. Maybe the potential risk of re-injury, don't quote me, but I think he's 20%-ish, So week 1, if I'm going Christian Kirk or Keenan Allen, it's Christian Kirk for me. And again, make sure you hit the like button here. It helps us out. It helps the channel out. It is a fantastic community. So don't forget to do that. All right. What do we got here? I just imagine being arrested outside your stadium with people walking by wearing your jersey. We got the cop took Tyreek's unders. Here we go, Ryan. Pickens, Christian Kirk, or Raheem Mostert at flex?
This one's tough for me. It's between Christian Kirk and Mostert for me. I'm not playing Pickens at all. If Russ was out there, I would have stronger tendency to play Pickens here. With Fields, I don't want to trust any of those pass catchers where I talked about Christian Kirk. John?
No. Finish your thought.
Oh, sorry. I thought you're throwing up a finger to correct me there. And I'm like, no, I'm still not playing any of them. But yeah, so it's Christian Kirk. I still believe in his upside. If Devon Achane, if he was just banged up just a little bit, I'd be like, all right, Mostert, let's start him. Let's get him in the lineup. But I think it's going to be such a committee. And Achane is he's the guy that we believe in that offense now. So I think Mostert is like a really good flex play. But I think Christian Kirk is just a strong play that you're going to throw in your lineup every single week.
And it really comes down like that touchdown upside is undeniable with Raheem
and this
Mostert.
Isn't PPR as well. If this is non-PPR, I'm going to go Mostert.
Half PPR?
Probably Christian Kirk still, but that's really close for me.
I would go Mostert. So again, without the context, I would go Mostert in standard or half PPR. I'll go Christian Kirk in full PPR. Again, that game, Jacksonville, Miami, it has the potential to be a shootout. And I hope it does not disappoint. I put my finger up and I agree with you. I'm not taking Pickens here. Okay. Pickens has a kind of a tougher matchup. We talked about that Atlanta defense being a little bit better than people think, but with the expectation, we'll find out in 14 minutes here, but with the expectation that Russell Wilson is out, who really thrives outside the numbers, right? Doesn't really target the middle of field all that much. I actually think Justin Fields playing, I think Pat Freiermuth, the newly extended Pat Freiermuth, he could have a better week than people were anticipating if Russell Wilson were to start. Am I saying he's going to go out there and pop off 30 points?
You're saying he's at least going to be a top 15 tight end, which is, a really hard bar to reach.
I think there's top 8, top 6 upside. All right.
I like it. I'm still not playing him. Unless I have to. I mean, there's honestly a lot of tight end leagues where he is just your best tight end, and that's how you're going to roll, right?
So yeah, Pat Freiermuth, this wasn't brought up here, but Malik Washington is out. He was expected to get some work in 3 wide receiver sets, maybe an uptick for Johnny Smith. So we're talking about some of those really sexy tight ends. And when we go through all these scenarios too, kind of you have to really look at your team here, because we'll say like ceiling, floor, you look at a median range of outcomes. What is your projection looking like? If you're a big dog, sometimes you want to shoot for the sky. Very few fantasy matchups are decided by just a few points. Very few. So missing out on a couple points here and there, ultimately over the larger scale of things, it's not going to be make too much of an impact. But like, let's say you had a Mark Andrews, let's say you had a Travis Kelce, and you're behind the 8 ball. You were expecting a huge game from Patrick Mahomes, and he didn't deliver that for fantasy purposes. Use your best judgment as well, because with that context, maybe go for more of a ceiling play here.
And I'm just going to say really quick, be super careful about what last year's defensive ratings said, right? Just a perfect example is I've read all over about how Puka, who I love Puka tonight against the Lions, right? He went for 180 yards in the playoffs last year, which is great. That's really cool. But the Lions have a whole new secondary. Like their secondary is completely different than last year. They've traded, they've drafted to help make it better. And so just know going in that you can't trust these. I know there's a lot of guys that'll be like, oh, hey, this guy's going against the 26th worst defense. Well, maybe. I mean, they might be. Probably not. I mean, defense is extremely hard to pick from year to year.
And that's when we started the show. I said I have the spreadsheet here with the 2023 team defense. But week 1, we have the least amount of information from defensive matchups. Everybody says, oh, look at strength of schedule. That is wildly inaccurate from year to year when you kick off the season.
Oh, it's so bad. Yeah.
So remember, we are here until 12:30 p.m. Eastern.
Mhm.
Like I said, Mitch and I need a little bit of time to tinker with our lineups if there's any late inactives. We are on comments from 11:02. I see the
Okay,
chat.
let's start speed
Hold on,
reading.
I see the chat absolutely firing off. We are going to get through as many of these as possible. To ensure that we get to your question, if you drop a super chat in there, we would be extremely appreciative, but we will make sure that your question goes right to the top here. But here we go. Let's get through as many of these as possible. From Oaktown, would you go with Chuba Hubbard, Zach Moss, Brian Thomas, or Deontay Johnson in the flex spot? Let's look at it from a PPR and maybe a half point PPR since that context wasn't given.
I'm going Chuba. I think he is going to be the workhorse back. I do worry a little bit with the Panthers offensive line, but they've went out and they've tried to help out the interior of it at least. And I think he's just going to get a lot of work compared to Zach Moss. Maybe it's Chase Brown, right? You just don't really know how that is going to shake out. Brian Thomas is the rookie. I love Deontay, but if you're telling me I could play a running back that I think is going to be a slight workhorse compared to a new
Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys are finalizing a 4-year, $240 million extension. Let's go.
It's good that he did it. I was going to bring this up if we ever got a question about the Cowboys. The Cowboys are starting 2 rookies on their offensive line, and they're going against the Browns and Myles Garrett this week, and I am very, very worried about that Cowboys offense. So good for Dak getting paid before this game happens.
Now, you know how the guaranteeds always get a little funky, like 231 million guaranteed based on initial reports.
Good for him.
240 million.
Man, this is how I think it should be. NFL players, especially elite ones, their whole contract should just be guaranteed. I mean, they're putting their bodies on the line every single week. Just pay them. Just that way they don't have to worry about injuries at all. And then you don't run into the situation that we have so many times with guys holding out because they don't like what their guaranteed money is.
Holy cow. I saw the siren and I was like, all right. Now, really quickly, I'm plugging this into the Dynasty Daddy tool with all 4 of these.
Mm-hmm.
We have Deontay Johnson. My thought is
I'm going to guess before you load it up, Deontay is going to be the leader, but I really think it's going to be Chuba.
And he is my leader too. If this is full PPR, I think Deontay Johnson, especially early in the season, is going to be that safety blanket for Bryce Young. I think he's going to be peppered with targets. Hopefully, he isn't on his deathbed at some point during the game like Deontay Johnson always is. You know, he gets dinged up and then miraculously he comes back out. But Chuba Hubbard at 67%, Deontay Johnson at 33%.
That's what I like to hear.
So those are my top 2 as well, but I'm switching it. I would go Deontay in full PPR. I'm okay with Chuba in half or lower. All right, half PPR, start Ayuk or Chuba Hubbard. Can I go first on this one?
Go ahead, man.
I'm staying away from Brandon Ayuk. You know, they're talking about the reduced snaps. Okay. What is that workload really going to look like? How many routes is he really going to run? But they have an extremely tough matchup against the New York Jets. I'm taking Chuba Hubbard, especially in half PPR this week.
Yeah, I'm complete agreement, Chuba. I talked about just last question. I think he's going to be really good this week. This is a fun one. I like this one from Madison.
Deontay or Christian Kirk? And that last question came from Drew. Thanks, Drew.
So I'm going Chris Kirk this week, and it's just because he has that rapport build up with Trevor Lawrence, right? I know how well that is going to work. We believe Bryce Young and Deontay Johnson is going to work really well, but we just haven't seen it yet. So first week of the season, give me Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I'll go Christian Kirk here too. All right. Warren or Chase Brown. There it is.
Yeah.
As running back too.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chase Brown. I really worry about what the Steelers offense is going to look like with Fields under center. If it was Russ, it would be pretty close for me, but I think Chase, with the lack of receiving options we think the Bengals are going to have, I could see him getting 3 or 4 receptions this game, and I think that'll give him enough just by those alone to take him over Warren.
Russell Wilson is out. Justin Fields is playing. I also expect them to lean heavily on Najee Harris this week. Jaylen Warren coming back from the hamstring injury. He is going to play, but we'll see how that offense looks. My expectations overall, as many as folks are, is fairly low. All right, this is from Cash Me Out. PPR, Chase Brown or Josh Palmer?
Chase Brown. Keep me away from that Chargers offense, man.
Between those two, I'll go Chase Brown.
What
Chargers.
Let's just say, what if it's between Brown and McConkey? Does that change it for you at all?
No, I would still go Brown, because I think there's a better chance than not that, we'll see how pass heavy that team is early in the season. This is one of those games, probably Chargers are favorite here against the Raiders. One could be a low scoring, grinded out game.
The quickest game of the day. And this game's going to be over in like 2 hours and 45 minutes because it's just going to be run.
Yeah, I could see that. Zamir White probably getting a heavy workload.
Mm-hmm. All of the backs for the Chargers getting a heavy workload.
I think that's one of the more interesting scenarios that I want to see play out.
Mm-hmm.
That backfield split between Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Kamani Vidal. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. So Josh Palmer, really quickly, they're going against the Raiders. Last year, receiving points per game, given up through the air. Raiders were bottom third. So, points can be scored against them. That's not a question. But I feel more comfortable and confident that Chase Brown, worst case scenario, sees a 50-50 opportunity with Zach Moss. And I would lean on that's conservative for me. I think, and Chase Brown offers that big play potential, and that's going to be the way I go here as well. All right, from Matt, pick 2, PPR, Javonte, Moss, McLaurin, Ayuk.
This one is really easy for me as well. It's Terry McLaurin. I think he is going to do extremely well against that revamped Bucs secondary. And then Javonte, I think he's in line for a lot of receiving work. I think Bo Nix is going to check down nonstop because that Seattle defense is going to blitz him nonstop. And so he's going to get that ball out as quickly as he possibly can. So I'm going Javonte and McLaurin.
The Dynasty Daddy resource here, based on Sleeper, Number Fire, Fantasy Pros, all that good stuff. Brandon Ayuk 83%, Terry McLaurin 16, Javonte. Javonte and Zach Moss 0. I'm also going Javonte and Ayuk, or Javonte and McLaurin. I apologize. Right. Ayuk is going to be that guy this week that I talked about to start the show. Oh my God, how did I sit him?
Yeah,
that could be the guy here for me. But I'm going to sit him just because I am a little spooked by that Monday night against the Jets and the usage concerns. All right. From Phil, PPR, 1.7 for tight ends, DJ Moore, Evan Engram, Alvin Kamara.
Oh, this one's tough.
I think you're just to have.
I think you're going to go Ingram. My opinion is you're going Ingram. I really want to play Kamara a lot this week. I just worry so much about Taysom Hill in the red zone. I think Kamara could easily have 6 or 7 catches. And I think that's an easy ballpark for him to hit. But will he touch the ball inside the 10? Honestly, have no idea because I think Taysom Hill is going to get a lot of work there this year. DJ Moore is a guy I want to have him in my lineup, but against these other two, he's probably the bottom third for me. And so I'm going to go Ingram because of the tight end premium, then Kamara, then DJ Moore.
I'll go that order too. Kamara, and we talked about this earlier with the points given up last year. The Saints have the Panthers. The Panthers were like super low in points given up through the air last year, but teams had leads on them.
Yeah, they didn't have to pass against them.
But on the other hand, they gave up the third most points from a rushing perspective at 21 points per game. Oh, I actually think Evan Engram is probably going to see one of the higher rates throughout his career in the red zone and inside the 10 and inside the 5.
I agree.
I'll go Evan Engram, Kamara, DJ Moore. That's going to be my order as well. Thanks, Phil. All right. Jeremiah, Mr. Retzlaff, Rashid Shaheed or Chuba Hubbard in his flex, 1 PPR.
It's Chuba. Like, I love Shaheed. Like, if you're playing DraftKings or whatever at 4,000 for a wide receiver, that's a fine play, right? But Shaheed isn't someone that I want to throw my flex this week when we have Chuba, who's probably going to go in and get 65-70% of the touches this week.
He gives you that big play potential.
Without a doubt. Yep.
And probably one of the better options if you're getting receiving or I hope you're getting receiving points. You're getting return points. It's going to be unanimous between Mitch, myself, and Dynasty Daddy. We're going to go Chuba Hubbard. All right, Patrick. We got PPR, pick 2, Devon A. Chan, Kyron Williams, Malik Neighbors, and Brandon Ayuk. The Malik...
I want these choices on my team. Like, can I have these choices just for 2 flex spots? Because I want to see what the rest of the team looks like. If these are your flex guys, you're probably pretty set.
Listen, these guys here, Phil, Patrick, many others, you talk about flex options. These guys are just flexing on us.
Pretty much, yes. That is the only flex. Picking 2, I'm going A-Chain. I think A-Chain has one of the highest scoring outcomes of any running back this week. Probably, you know what? I'm really struggling on Kyron or Malik, to be honest. I think Malik is going to get 9 targets, 10 targets minimum, but they're from Daniel Jones. That offensive line's terrible. And how much do we really have faith that Daniel Jones can go and toss him 2 touchdowns this week, right? Unlike Kyron can just go and run and get a score, get 2 catches, and then all of a sudden he beats Malik just based off the touchdown potential alone. So I'm going to go Kyron and Achan.
I will also go that way. Like Malik Neighbors, he's going to get the high target share, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Jamar Chase is active.
He is active. Okay, good.
If I have him, he's playing.
Yes.
We
had a question earlier about Yoshi, right? Yoshi Voss. And if Chase was out, I was staying so far away from playing him because I just have no faith. This isn't a scenario to where like the number 1 wide receiver goes out, then all of a sudden like the third in the offense all of a sudden gets 12 targets, right?
Yep.
But now you're telling me Jamar Chase is going to be on the field, let's say 60% of snaps, 50% of snaps. Those 50% of snaps help out Yoshi Voss so much because he isn't the guy that they're not going to really worry about him anyways, right? But now he has Jamar Chase is who they're worrying about. It lets Yoshi Voss do what he's going to do. So now I don't want to put Yoshi Voss in my lineups, but now I'm a lot more likely to than I would if Jamar Chase was out, which is probably backwards thinking than what a lot of people would do.
From Nick O, always appreciate this gentleman here. Zamir White or Zach Moss, PPR 0.2 PPC.
In 0.2 PPC, I am smashing Zamir White here. I mean, I'll be pretty shocked if he gets less than, 18 carries. So that ends up being, 3 something? I'm not going to do math live on a YouTube stream. That's not going to happen.
All right. Thanks, Cole. We're happy.
Appreciate it, man.
Here. Trixie, should I start Ayuk? If not, Pickens or Scary Terry?
Scary Terry.
I'm there too.
Yep.
Scott's on board with us here with Ramondre Stevenson. Hunter Henry, is he a sneaky start? He's coming back in the foot injury. He's in. Patriots going against the Bengals. This Patriots-Bengals game, who would have thought it would have been such a topic of conversation throughout the first half an hour today, Mitch?
Is he a sneaky start? I just think he's a decent start. If you're playing in any sort of tight end premium league, I think he has... he's not going to be a top 8 potential guy like what you talked about with Pat Fryermuth, right? But top 12? Sure. And there's a lot of leagues to where maybe if you're in a 2 tight end league, yeah, play him. If you're in a 1.75 premium league, yes. Do I want to start him over pretty much anyone in a non-tight end premium league? No, because that upside is just kind of scary right now.
Let's see here. My expectation is if they can get to the red zone,
mm-hmm.
he's going to get opportunities.
I agree with that. Yeah. His touchdown upside is pretty good.
We also know Jacoby Brissett, he's not one to shy away from tight ends. So right now it looks like Hunter Henry's falling into that tight end 20 range on the week. Like guys like Zach Ertz are ahead of him, Cade Otton, Brock Bowers, Jawan Johnson, Noah Fant. I would play Henry over any of them, honestly.
I would play him over Fant and Jawan Johnson, but not over Ertz. Okay. I really like Ertz this week, to be honest.
Okay, we'll see how that one plays out. From the Dynasty, Don, Rome, or Rashid Shaheed, PPR start 9, and he's already starting DJ Moore.
You answer this one because this is playing 2 Saints players if you start Shaheed, right? How do you attack that in your lineups?
Sorry, you mean 2 Bears if you go with Rome?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Strike that. Strike that. Reverse it.
You're good. You know exactly what I meant.
I know. Listen, we've been doing this long enough. We share one brain, and sometimes it's like who has it now at this point. Here is my thought with Rome. We talked about Keenan Allen coming back from the injury, the heel. He's still going to get targets. I think Rome's going to be a little bit more involved today, but give me Shaheed. If I'm choosing between those two, the DJ Moore thing, you think it caps your upside if you're going DJ Moore and Rome in an offense that also has Keenan Allen. We're going to see how involved DeAndre Swift is in the passing game. And even though it's Caleb Williams, you have a rookie quarterback coming in, but I would go Rashid Shaheed here for better or worse.
See, this one I talked about how I like the Titans defense, but this is one to where I'm actually going to go Rome. I think he ends up getting a lot more targets than what we see Shaheed get. And I just have very little faith in Keenan Allen at this point. Who knows what's going on with those tight ends? I mean, I don't even think one of those guys is playable until we really see a full NFL game to see how they're going to put them out there. So I'll go Rome here.
All right, let's keep rolling here.
Just going to bring this up again. So if this hits 100 likes and you comment in the comments, not the live chat, but actually go to the comment section, do it. Jay, Rich, and Ray will give away the same hat that John and I are wearing, and it is like fantastic. Like it's got all gas on the side. It breathes. It is an awesome hat. So please do it. It helps us out a lot too. But keep going, John. Oh, and one more thing.
Hit the like button.
We are getting so far behind on the chat. So if you want to see something red and you're getting in late, please use the super chat because we could see it so much better because we're going through them as fast as we can. But we also want to provide a little bit of analysis with things. I just don't want to go like, hey, play Justin Fields. Hey, play this guy. And that doesn't help out anybody really. So we're going to give analysis with each of these as much as we can.
Eric says he's playing Baker over Herbert today. I would too. Jaden Daniels or Bryce Young, 4-point passing touchdown.
Jaden Daniels, this is why we drafted him, right? I mean, his floor is higher. I think the ceiling is easily higher, if not much higher than what Young can do today.
Godwin or Pickens? I am smashing Godwin here.
Yeah, I think Godwin's going to eat in the slot.
Andre Yoshivas or Curtis Samuel, PPR?
Yeah, so
talk about Yoshivas a little bit already.
Yeah, we kind of just hit on the second part of that. How does Chase and Higgins both sitting affect it? Look, I would not play Yoshivas if Chase wasn't playing because I just don't think that the targets automatically go to, the third wide receiver who might really be the fourth wide receiver on that team. Curtis Samuel, he's been injured. So I will go Yoshivas. If Curtis Samuel was coming into this game healthy, I would play Curtis Samuel. But I don't even know how many snaps he's going to end up getting. So I'll go Yoshivas over Samuel.
I'm banking on our dude Jeff here from his injury pod. I'm going Curtis Samuel. He's not worried. I'm not worried.
I'm not worried about his health. I'm worried about how much they're going to let him play. But that's my worry.
Oh, full speed ahead. I'm going Curtis Samuel. All right. Pickens, Christian Kirk, or Raheem Morris. These seem to be.
I believe we've already answered this one, to be honest, didn't we?
We did. That Ryan Field trying to sneak that in there again. All right. Ladd McConkey, Curtis Samuel.
Ladd McConkey.
Curtis Samuel.
Really? Wow. Man, listen, you love Curtis Samuel.
I'll
give it a game. I'm okay playing Lad McConkey.
Especially in full PPR. All right, I gotta hope this is from the real John Stamos here.
I'm sure it is. I mean, he wouldn't use his face because that would just be a little too pretentious for him. So yeah, I completely believe it is.
All right. Well, speaking of a full lineup or a full house, Brandon Ayuk or Zamir White, full PPR. I'm going Zamir. We talked about Ayuk enough. I think that answer shouldn't surprise anybody.
Yeah, I'll go Zamir. You know, I'm not completely out on Ayuk like you are. But if there's a running back to where we're assuming he's going to get 70% of touches, just know the week 1, I'm going to play him more often than the wide receiver.
Yeah, I especially early in the season, like we have as confident as we can be in workload for some of these guys. Zamir White's one of those guys.
Yeah, he's the guy that like I have I mean, he might get 2.5 yards per carry. That might easily happen. But I mean, he's going to be on the field, and if they somehow get in the red zone, he'll be fine.
All right. From space, always appreciate you. Half PPR, start one. Deontay, JSN, Moss.
I like JSN this week. I'm starting to buy into JSN more and more with Lockett kind of being in and out of practice the last little while. I think JSN provides you the highest upside, and I think his floor is extremely close to what Deontay's going to give you. Zach Moss is just not a guy I'm going to play, especially going against the Patriots.
I love Deontay, but I also am going to go JSN. The Tyler Lockett situation coming off the thigh injury, he's expected to play. How much work is he going to get? With the change in OC, the change in philosophy, hopefully, the pass to run ratio, like it was fine from a passing perspective for Seattle last year. We've talked about this several times on the weekly Dynasty Theory show throughout the offseason, but the total number of plays they ran was not beneficial to the passing game. And I mean, I'm counting on Geno Smith again, for better or worse. So give me JSN. I like his shot here to really do something in week 1 with Tyler Lockett, who might not be getting his normal workload. From Senior Football, non-PPR, Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, Brian Robinson.
You answer this one.
Chase,
You're still going to play Chase.
I can't sit him.
In non-PPR, I really, really want to say Brian Robinson.
I know.
I really do. But it comes down to how okay are you with losing if Jamar Chase gets 80 yards and a touchdown and Brian Robinson gets 60 yards rushing and 2 catches. You know, if you end up putting Brian Robinson in your lineup and you end up losing because you're not starting Jamar Chase, are you okay with that? I'm going Jamar Chase.
Yeah. All right. The hat is sharp. It is Dynasty Rehab. Dan's in the chat. Bowers is always the answer. Remember, Dan and I will be doing the Dynasty Theory weekly episode tomorrow night. Video drops Tuesday. We're going to be talking about obviously Dynasty trends and what we can expect moving forward, and if we can expect certain trade volume for players to keep up here after week 1. I'm sure there's not going to be any overreactions.
None. Nope.
There won't be any. Ayuk or Waddle? Waddle, smash
Waddle. I love Waddle. Waddle is going to get you 80 yards and maybe a touchdown this week. I love it.
Tyreek Hill, what's the play with him? You're playing him. He's there.
Yep. He's more pissed off than he was earlier, so that makes me want to play him even more.
Stick with Dak. They actually have one of the lower implied totals at 19.25 points this week against the Cleveland Browns defense in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Do you stick with Dak or do you go with Fields or Baker?
I'm starting Fields. I think Fields has really good upside this week. I mean, his floor is atrocious, but I don't think Dak has that high of a ceiling this week. Going against that Browns defense, that Browns defensive line with the Cowboys' current offensive line, I'm staying away. I mean, Baker is a viable option too. If we got this late and Fields is already picked up, I would start Baker over Dak this week.
If it's 6-point passing touchdown, I'm going Dak. 4-point, I'll go the upside in Fields. All right. From Daniel, another Yoshivas question. But this is if no Chase or Higgins. We now know Chase is active. Yoshivas or Neighbors?
It's Neighbors. Neighbors, I don't care if there isn't another starter on the Bengals playing. I'm going to go Neighbors, right?
All right. From Sugar Dunkerton, full PPR, McLaurin, Pickens, Neighbors.
It's hard. I'm going to go Terry McLaurin. What he brings you upside wise, and probably just, his floor is so much better than what Pickens is going to give you. Neighbors were hoping for that upside this week, but it's still with Daniel Jones. The only hesitation is Jaden Daniels, right? How well is he going to do going against that Buccaneers defense? And I'm just going to go Terry. I think Terry is the best wide receiver the Commanders have. And you can say the exact same thing about Neighbors, but one has Daniel Jones throwing the ball. The other one has Jaden Daniels.
Any concern with the way McLaurin was utilized in the preseason, the average depth of target really coming down with Jaden Daniels? Or is it one of those situations where Jaden Daniels very well might be locked in on Terry McLaurin, be that first read option, and he's going to get just peppered with targets?
That's what I think. I think him and Ertz are going to get peppered this week. That is 100% my assumption. And that's what they should do. They should give Jaden Daniels extremely easy completions this week. Just get his confidence up, make sure he's good to go for the rest of the season. So I think Terry's in for like a 7 or 8 reception game.
Jay Rich, go take a shower, dude, because this is freaking filthy. But it is actually a fair question.
It is.
Taysom Hill or Kyle Pitts?
I will say it's depending on the premium for me. If there is not a tight end premium, I'm 100% playing Taysom Hill. If there is a tight end premium, 1.75 up to 2, I'll play Kyle Pitts. What does it say? What does the daddy say?
Kyle Pitts, 100%.
Of course it does.
Kyle Pitts, 100%. Let's see. Is it
are we going to be shocked if Taysom Hill has 2 rushing touchdowns this week?
No.
And then Kyle Pitts goes out and gets a 6 for 45 game. I think that's kind of high in his range of outcomes, to be honest.
Yeah, there it is.
And I just keep in mind, this is purely without a tight end premium as well.
Yeah, this is full just PPR straight down. In full PPR, I think that's kind of a lofty expectation for Kyle Pitts. I'm gonna go Kyle Pitts.
I knew you were. You don't ever hedge on like the play that you probably shouldn't play, and everyone knows you shouldn't play Taysom Hill over Kyle Pitts. But yeah, I wouldn't have on premium, to be honest.
All right, thanks JR for that gross one. Remember, drop a like on this if you enjoy it. Again, we're trying to get through as many as possible here. A lot of great questions so far, and I'm sure plenty more to come. Craig, start 2, full PPR, JSN, Olave, and Puka. This is easy for me.
It's easy for Puka, Olave.
That's it for me.
Yep. Start your studs.
Nico, again. Pickens, Addison, Swift, half PPR. Swift. I know. There's a lot of anti-Swift sentiment. Part of it coming from Mitch.
A lot of it coming from me.
That
jersey right behind me.
I know. I'm going Swift even in half PPR. I really think he's going to be involved. He's going to be an important part of this game plan here in week 1 against the Titans.
I'll go Swift as well.
Zamir. So this is from Grant. Zamir, Roma Dunze, Lad McConkey.
Love having these options. Week 1, this is going to be a really good team moving forward, but I'll go Zamir. It's the upside that you could get with that workhorse running back that's going to get you 70% of the snaps.
Send your football. I apologize, man. We're getting through these. These guys are answering one question every 10 minutes. It's a marathon episode. We'll be here straight through until next month at this pace, right? Send your football. Grant, full PPR. Start Lad. Wait, I just did that one.
Yeah, you're good.
There you go. All right. Brett, half PPR. Gus, Dobbins, Warren.
Oh, Lord. Warren. Until I could see what that Chargers backfield is going to do, I'll go Warren.
All right. Singletary or Yoshivas from Patrick. I think
this one's easy for you.
He could see 80% of the running back work this week. Give me Devin Singletary.
Completely agree.
Let's see here. Go some Dak comments. That's whenever we talked about the extension. Micah next. Deontay or JSN? We talked about that. Some people dropping their questions again. Wait here. All City. Yoshivas, Miles Sanders for a flex, and then Caleb or Kyler Murray at quarterback. I'll go Yoshivas and Kyler Murray.
Same. Yeah, I'll go Kyler Murray. Yep.
Amari Cooper, Jerome Ford, half PPR. This comes from Chris.
I'm going to go Jerome Ford. I think that Dallas defense is still going to be pretty bad against the run. So I'll go Jerome Ford. How do you trust Deshaun Watson at this point? Like, I want to love Amari Cooper. I have a lot of Amari Cooper on my rosters. I just want to see it week 1. So go ahead and give me the running back.
Yeah, give me Jerome.
Hey, we have big news. Kendrick Lamar announced he will perform at halftime for the 2025 Super Bowl in New Orleans. That is fantastic.
Whenever it's Billy Joel,
cool.
you let me know. That's when I'll.
Oh my, yeah, I know.
All right, Main Mac, Caleb Williams or Matthew Stafford at quarterback.
Stafford.
Yeah, I'll go Stafford. Maybe it's just wanting
Birdie
that game on
again,
Sunday
we're
night.
not to this point on. Hopefully, your lineups aren't nearly to this point, but it looks like Cam Akers is a healthy scratch, so Damian Pierce is the main backup on the Texans. Jalen Wright was also a healthy scratch, so Jeff Wilson will be playing.
Interesting. I'm wondering if that's more of like a special teams kind of situation where we see.
I'm sure it will be. Yeah.
All right. Nick Remy, the Remster. Drake London or Joe Mixon, half PPR.
This one's fun. I'm going to go. Let me pull up your start sit tracker, make sure I'm not wrong on this. You have an expected point total for the Texans at 26. You have one at 22.75 for the Falcons. You're telling me I'm going to get Joe Mixon, who I think is going to get a lot of the workload. So I'm going to go Joe Mixon here.
Yeah, I think he's going to be heavily involved in the passing game coming out of the backfield. He's going to get a line share. Like if you're looking at running back market share, I think Joe Mixon, Devin Singletary could be two of the guys that are a little bit higher up. Herbert, this is from Lurs. Herbert or Justin Fields +6 -2 quarterback scoring.
That 6-2 changes it a little bit for me. I'm going to go Justin Fields. Like, I really want to go Herbert. It's hard to say, like, hey, one of the top 6 talented quarterbacks in the league, we're not going to start him week 1 for Justin Fields, who's like 40th. But, I mean, just the rushing upside is there for Fields.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those games, I think, in Pittsburgh where maybe we see a nice Justin Fields fantasy game, but could be an overall disaster. We'll see. Or he will shut up all the skeptics. I mean, even though we have a 3-year sample here from Chicago, and he's going to take the hold of that quarterback 1 spot over Russell Wilson and never relinquish it. And we'll see. I think it's going to be the former, though. All right, McLaurin or Marvin from Jonah?
I'll go McLaurin. Like I said, I think he's going to get 7 receptions this game. I think that's kind of Marvin's ceiling for his first game as a rookie.
Roy dropping by saying hello. He's cooking some dinner over there in the UK, and his daughter's causing chaos. What's going on? Ayuk or Christian Kirk? This is Christian Kirk for me.
I'll agree with that.
All right, thanks, Gabriel. N4 says Justin Fields, top 10 quarterback play today. Certainly possible.
Upside, yeah.
Upside from Sheldon. Full PPR, Josh Palmer or Mike Wilson?
I'm going Josh Palmer. I think he's probably the best wide receiver for the Chargers today. And Mike Wilson, who knows what's going to happen with the Cardinals. So I'll go Josh Palmer.
Mike Wilson might be the 5th option after Dork and James
exactly.
Conner.
Well, we just don't know.
From Dustin, PPR, JSN or Brian Thomas?
JSN.
JSN for me as well. Again, talked about the Lockett situation.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't had any Dortch questions. I mean, you just brought him up, but like he's been pretty big talk on some other channels.
All right, from Rella, Mostert or Cortland Sutton in the flex, full PPR. Stoked for this to be a weekly thing. We are also stoked for this to be a weekly thing. I'm going Mostert.
I'm going Cortland Sutton. I think Seattle is going to end up putting a lot of points on the board, and Denver is going to have to try to play catch up a little bit. And I don't trust anybody else in that offense to catch the ball, so we'll go with Sutton. Besides Devontae, of course.
This was kind of expected, but DeAndre Hopkins is active. Another one, Tyler Lockett, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Ayuk. Who else was on my list here?
Oh, Roschon Johnson, inactive.
Ugh. Ooh, Khalil taking that running back 2 spot. Surprise, surprise. But those 3 wide receivers, again, Ayuk, because of the potential reduced workload, just coming back into swings here for week 1. And then Tyler Lockett and DeAndre Hopkins. If I have any other option in place of them, please give them to me. I actually kind of like Calvin Ridley this week.
Here is my worry, whether it's Hopkins or Ridley. Who's Jalen Johnson going to be on? Like, I know defenses don't really fully shadow anymore, but if they decide to do that with Jalen Johnson, I want whoever the other wide receiver is. But I don't know if they would do it this week because the Bears know, just like we do, Hopkins is coming in pretty injured.
Yeah, it looks like the expectation is that maybe Calvin draws more of the primary coverage, but I
don't think we can say with any confidence in that.
Yeah, I'm okay playing Calvin Ridley, maybe a mid to low wide receiver 2 option. All right, 10 team from Masternator. This is why I need to fully read things before I just go into it.
A little bit.
That's a clever name, though. You know me. I'm always good for a pun. 10 team dynasty. Chase or this is a trade.
It's a trade. I'm doing Jamar Chase anyways, but yeah, keep going.
This is what Jamar Chase. Yeah, give me Chase. Well, there's a question. I'm going to go over that one. All right, Aqua. PPR. Should I be starting Neighbors in my flex over Kamara or Rashad White? Currently starting Lamb and Cup at wide receiver and CMC and Gibbs at running back.
This is tough. In PPR, probably going to go Rashad White. Until we see otherwise, he's probably still going to be the bell cow. At least, 60, 65% of the running back market. So I'll take that there. And he's going to get the red zone touches, in my opinion, to where Kamara, like we brought up earlier, who knows? And we're hoping for a great game from Neighbors. We'll wait till we see it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things with White and Kamara. You can expect them to be involved in the passing game. You can expect a lion's share of the work here in week 1. But I think that red zone upside, that's a good point there, Mitch. I would go Rashad White as well. Fields or Herbert from J Stu. If you missed it earlier, we both went Fields. Hugo. PPR, Freiermuth or Taysom Hill?
In PPR, I'm going Freiermuth, but Fairmuth, whatever. Can't talk this morning.
That's all right. I'll go Freiermuth too. No premiums at all here. Yes, from Storm. Always appreciate you. Yoshivas or Singletary?
We hit it. Singletary.
From Tons. PPR. Singletary, Chuba Hubbard, or Brian Thomas? He's also starting Christian Kirk.
I'm going Chuba. I'll go Chuba over Singletary this week.
I'm going to go Singletary. Surprise, surprise. A.T. Perry is out.
Shaheed
really
a little bit better. Just move Shaheed a little bit higher.
Jamar Chase or JSN? If I have Chase on my roster, I'm playing him.
Yeah. It's close. I mean, it's something to definitely consider, but I'm still playing Chase. I'm just not going to feel good having him out of my lineup.
Thanks, Patrick. Patrick got our back. Jingles, the hats look cool. They do. Eric, Fields or Purdy?
I'm going Purdy.
Oh my
God. I'm not playing Fields over Purdy, man. It's just not going to happen.
It's just against the Jets Monday night.
I don't care.
I don't.
Shanahan will be just fine going against the Jets. He'll be A-okay, man.
Okay, I'll go Purdy. Let's see. And likes up though. Yeah, like the stream here, guys. We would appreciate it. Have you guys hit on the idea that QB Justin Fields is starting? We've talked about that.
Just once or
Upside.
twice.
Neighbors or Jamar?
Neighbors.
I
know it's hard,
can't.
but I think Neighbors' upside is close to Jamar's this week. And I know he's going to be on the field for 90% of the plays.
Stafford or Fields?
Stafford.
And then is there Stafford?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If it's +4, -2?
Stafford.
Okay. From Aqua. Did we get this one before? Neighbors,
Yeah.
Kamara, White.
Mm-hmm.
Start 2 out, Kamara and White.
Yeah.
Caleb or Joe Burrow from Alec. Joe Burrow, I'm going to be lower than consensus on this week.
I'm going Caleb, and I hate Caleb's matchup this week. Like, I'm not a Caleb guy at all this week, but that's the play for me.
4th and 1 here. Where are we ranking Fields this week? Fields or Jaden Daniels?
So Jaden Daniels is everything that we wanted Justin Fields to be. Like, I'm all about Daniels over Fields. I mean, Fields has high upside. Jaden Daniels has that upside. He could actually throw the ball to wide receivers. So without hesitation there.
I agree. All right. From the King, Caleb, Fields, or Stafford, 4-point passing touchdown.
Stafford.
I'll go Stafford there too. From A to Z, am I crazy to think of playing Fields over Purdy and 4-point passing touchdown? I don't think you're crazy.
It's not crazy. I am not doing it, right? I just no.
Eric's going Fields over Purdy. Patrick says I'm taking Taysom anytime touchdown.
Love it.
What is that? What's that line there, Patrick?
I have no idea, to be
What's
honest.
that line?
Utah doesn't allow us to have fun.
All right, All City says sorry. Jatavion Sanders or Yoshivas?
I actually had Jatavion Sanders written down to see what your thoughts were playing him this week. Like, I really hope your tight end situation isn't so bad that this happens, but maybe it is. Maybe All City is in this situation to where week 1 flex play is it Yoshivas or JT Sanders?
1.75 premium or above, I'll go JT Sanders. Otherwise, I'll go Yoshivas.
I agree. I'm going to try to trade for something better before the game start, though.
From Mamenga, Yoshivas, Najee Harris, or Brian Robinson?
Najee Harris for me. I think he pairs really well with Fields.
All right. Goff or Jaden Daniels?
6-point, I'll go Goff. 4-point, or if there's any other small rushing premium, I'm going Jaden Daniels.
Tank or Godwin? 0.5 PPR?
Godwin. Smash.
Now I know this is start sit, but Dynasty is in my blood.
Mm-hmm.
There is like that window was open all off season. All right. Now it comes to fruition. Chris Godwin comes out. I want to look at his props. I want to see what we're working with there because Chris Godwin this week, I think he's going to have a good week. Brian Thomas this week from Jacob. If I have any other options, but like if you're in a situation that is a floor versus ceiling play, you're already behind the 8 ball. I can see going Brian Thomas there, but like it's just too many question marks.
Okay, so would you go Brian Thomas or let's say like Khalil Shakir?
Shakir.
Yeah, same.
Because I think the ceiling this week is equally as high. And we know Khalil Shakir is going to see the field. I just don't know what that's going to look like here for Brian Thomas in week 1. From Ben, JSN or Shakir?
I know that's who you're going to play. I'll go JSN. I think it's a really solid play. If you have any sort of stack there, I'd go with the stack.
This has become the Shakir hour. From Ben, Sutton or Shakir?
That's great because I didn't even read the comments before you start pulling up. That's who popped in my head too. I'll go Shakir over Sutton.
All right. Christian Kirk or a limited Chase at wide receiver?
Christian Kirk.
You know my answer.
Are you still going Chase?
Oh, God.
I just think the upside is really close to the same if we see Chase at 65% snaps. Now, I'm going to look like a complete moron if he goes out and plays 85%, right? Because he's going to go out there and he's going to smash.
That's
But
the thing. Like,
you
that's
give
the
me
thing.
Chase at 60% route participation or Christian Kirk at like at 80 something. Hopefully, if they play 11 personnel.
Burrow or Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden. There
Yep.
we go. From Josh. What's up, Josh? PPR pick 2. Mostert, Aaron Jones, Jalen Warren.
Mostert and Aaron Jones.
I'm there too. Curtis Samuel or Brandon Ayuk?
Brandon Ayuk. This is going to test you. This is good. You're all about Curtis Samuel about 20 minutes ago.
I know that. I'll go Ayuk in this situation, and I don't feel great about it, but Samuel gets to that point where I'm willing to go with Ayuk. Jamar Chase or Jonathan Taylor? I'll go JT here.
Oh, JT. Yeah.
Blaine. He wants to start Khalil Shakir, but he's starting Debo, Chase, and London. Keep it as is.
Keep it as is. Yep.
Let's not get too cute. Josh, so Purdy over Fields and Fields over Dak? Question mark. See, I'm going. I think this thought was based on what we've answered before. +4, -2, feet to the fire. I'm going Fields.
I'm very afraid for Dak going against the Browns. You know, if Dak was playing someone else, I would feel like, let's say he was going against the Broncos or the Seahawks or the Chargers or even the Buccaneers. I would say Dak. Dak on the road against that Cleveland defensive line with his current offensive line. I'm not playing him unless I absolutely have to this week.
From Jacob, Jalen Polk or Josh Palmer?
Josh Palmer.
Agree. I'm going to answer this question. Need a third-party answer from Nick. Nick is a big Dolphins guy. Mm-hmm. Mitch is a big Lions guy. Tua or Goff this week? Impartial, unbiased. Give me Tua.
I'm going Tua.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We never know. Ladd or Gabe Davis, PPR from Braxton.
Look, I know everyone hates Gabe Davis. I think this is a great situation for him in Jacksonville. Like, he's not having the huge, when he was in Buffalo, we're like, oh, hey, he's going to be a top 20 wide receiver. That's out the window now. Now it's just, is he a good play this week? I'm going to go Gabe Davis over Ladd, to be honest.
I'm okay with that. How should we prepare for Christian McCaffrey maybe not playing? I'm not sitting Christian McCaffrey. Now, with all of this, if you have another option, you're playing on Sleeper and your league has the auto sub feature, it kind of takes a little stress out of that. So especially if you have a Jordan Mason, make him your auto sub. If you're in a league where it allows players that are going to play Sunday, get an auto sub in there. If you're on MFL, put him in your lineup. I'm willing to take that 0 if he doesn't play, but it sounds like he's going to play.
Put him in your flex in your lineup. So worst case scenario, we get the news. Maybe there's someone we can
MFL, flex or it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Thank you, MFL. It's great. Fantastic.
You leave MFL alone. Oh, man. From Blaine, Dolphins defense versus the Jags or Seahawks defense against the Broncos?
Seahawks. I mean, Bo Nix, rookie quarterback, going against Seahawks defense that should be revamped. That's going to blitz more. Seahawks, 100%.
Yeah, I'm going to go that route too.
I will say the Dolphins defense probably has the highest chance of like an interception return for a touchdown just because of how high paced that game could be to where we could actually see some stuff happening there.
I thought that was going to be a Trevor Lawrence jab.
Oh, no, not at all.
All right. From Kevin Swags, Swift, Dobbins, or Taysom for the flex. I want Swift.
It's Swift. I love that we're getting Taysom questions now. I mean, this is something we could put in people's mind that, touchdowns are going to happen. And I'm pretty high on Taysom Hill getting a touchdown this week.
Fields or Knicks?
Fields.
Stafford or Burrow?
Stafford.
Here we go. Thanks, Patrick. Taysom anytime touchdown plus 180, 2 touchdowns plus 1,400. And doesn't it always feel like there's no research to back this up? It always feels like with Taysom, when it rains, it pours. Like when it's a Taysom
and then
day,
he'll get like 3 carries for 4 yards. He'll be like, well, there goes that.
Yeah. All right. From Lurs, pick 2, full PPR. Swift, Deontay, Ridley, James Cook.
Oh, James Cook, without a doubt, James Cook is going to be in the lineup, and I will go Deontay Johnson over Ridley and Swift. I'm really interested to see what the Dynasty Data projection tool would throw up on this one, because I know James Cook will probably be like an 80%, and Swift might be next, but I don't have a lot of faith in Swift, man.
Hold on. Let's see here. James Cook, 100%. And then it's Calvin Ridley.
Kind of. It says 0.
Well, no, you got to pick 2 though. So
I know.
It bumps up his average to second.
Hey, erase James Cook off that. Hit the trash can on Cook.
100% Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley. Yep.
I'm
not playing Calvin Ridley.
I talked about it earlier. I'm okay playing Calvin Ridley. I agree here. There have been some battles today between Mitch, myself, and the start sit tool here with the projections that we see. But I'm okay with that. Tank Dell or Brandon Ayuk from Jimmy?
Tank Dell. I really like Tank Dell this week.
I'm going to go Tank Dell as well. From
Real quick,
Wizards.
Just keep in mind the Texans have like the highest point total this week. Expected point total, I should say.
I have to believe this is Curtis Samuel, not Debo Samuel. If it's Debo, smash. Curtis
Debo.
Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. We talked about this one already, I think, or from somebody else at least.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Brandon Ayuk.
Yep.
Mostert or Ayuk from NATO?
This one's tough. Sorry, you answer. I got a cough.
I will go Mostert here. I mean, and it was kind of expected, and I think it's going to happen every single week throughout the season. But a lot of the questions, it's going to be like 10 players are going to keep popping up. Brandon Ayuk, because of the question marks, is one of those guys. And Mostert seems to be one of those guys strictly because he's probably not one of your top 2 running backs, but he's in that mix for a flex spot. And we're not exactly sure how the workload's going to be, but we all know the upside is there with Mostert, and that efficiency is there as well. So Mostert or Ayuk for you?
And we pretty much answered like 65 questions. I'm worried someone's going to go back through this, be like, hey, you answered one way 1 hour ago and you switched that. Like, well, yeah, some new information came out, or, we're 100 questions in at this point.
I think we've been fairly consistent.
I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk. I just am.
And you know how psychotic I am.
Yeah. Oh, you'll go back through it and you'll be like, hey, Mitch, just so you know, you messed up 10 times. Be like, I'm surprised it's not 15.
No. I'm going to be going through. So next week, we can spit out our percentage, how many we got correct.
Oh, please don't do that. I don't love that.
Well, here's the deal. I'll throw it out if it's okay.
If we do, okay, I like it more that way.
If I don't bring anything up, you all know why. If you're still over 100 folks in here, a fantastic crowd today. Got about 17 minutes left. Please hit that like button. It's just below. It's just below.
And just remember, as soon as the stream is over, that's when you could put comments after the video is on. So then go in there, make sure you comment, then you have a chance to win the sweet hat. So please do that.
And besides us only getting through one start sit question in the first 45 minutes, any tweaks that you would like to see to the show? Mm-hmm. This is the first of 18 weekly start sit shows. Mitch and I as a pair will be on a majority of them. 16 maybe.
Yeah, I'll miss one for a cruise, but that's about it. But bring up if you want us to talk about our favorite DFS play, or hey, what underdog bet do we each really like this week or something like that. We'll do that. If not, we'll just keep hammering all these sit starts each week. We're pretty open to everything.
All right, from Alex, Ladd or Jacoby Myers? I actually like Jacoby.
I was just gonna say, I think you asked me this a month ago. Ladd's gonna be in my starting lineup. Now I'm gonna go Jacoby.
I actually like Jacoby here. All right. This is a fun question from Greg. Who is the leading New England wide receiver PPR scorer?
Pop Douglas. I said Pop just because you hate Pop.
I will go with Demario. I will go with Demario Douglas as well. All right. Lurs, Ayuk, Mostert, Spears, and McConkey.
I'm guessing PPR. Hey, if anyone can, just always try to put the lineup, especially when there's this many and there's running backs mixed in. Half point, PPR, none, PPC. That stuff matters when we're bringing this stuff in. I will go Ayuk. You know what? I want to say Spears, but I'm going Ayuk.
I'm going to stick with Mostert. Ty, Hopkins or Sutton, full PPR. It's Sutton for me.
Sutton, same.
Jonah just says Taysom better than best ball. He's a nice best ball option. Start Burrow or Jaden Daniels from Chrono. Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
From Alex, Tony Pollard or Chuba Hubbard?
Chuba. I think he's going to get a lot more work. I really do.
I'll go Chuba as well.
I think this is the first time you've choose Chuba this whole show.
You gotta choose Chuba. All right. Chase or Mike Evans? Oh man. I'll go Mike Evans in this one just because that ceiling is super high there as well.
Yeah, that I agree. Buccaneers have a 23-point implied total. I think we could see some Jaden Daniels interceptions, giving the Buccaneers a shorter field, which will give Mike Evans a little bit higher touchdown potential. So I'll go Mike Evans.
All right, our dude Ollie. Zach Moss or JSN? Full PPR assumed?
Jason. I'm not playing Zach Moss.
All right. 2 more questions and we're all caught up.
Ooh, that's pretty good timing with 15 minutes to go. So if you have any more, please throw them in the chat.
All right, this is from our dude Gump. He dropped an episode yesterday on the DD Fantasy Football podcast feed. Make sure you go check that out.
I have to let you answer this one first because I know where I'm going, and it's 100% with my heart.
Roma Dunze, Jameson Williams. There's no heart involved here. I'm going to go Jameson Williams.
Woo, me too. Yep. And a big thing with Jameson is it's kind of what we saw with Xavier Worthy. He gives you the rushing touchdown potential as well. Adunze doesn't do that. He's a rookie going in. I think Adunze is going to get more targets than Jameson, but Jameson provides you just that elite. He could do 1 catch, 60-yard touchdown, and he probably matches what Adunze does over the whole course of the game.
Let's see. Jameson and Rome.
See, that doesn't surprise me because if you're playing for a floor play, I say go Rome. Like if you're looking for 10 points, throw Rome in your lineup. If you're looking for 15 to 20, throw Jameson in.
Okay. Cup or Debo?
How have we not had any Cup questions? I'm kind of surprised.
Smashing Cup.
Yeah, Cup. And Debo's a great play too. But yeah, I think Cup can go back to the 2022 version of Cup.
I want to make this clear. Smashing Cup in general, but
yes.
My thing here is Jets.
You're kind of scared of that Jets defense. I can't believe you're not scared of the mighty Detroit Lions defense that is only going to allow 43 points against the Rams this week.
I don't know. It's going to be a shootout. I hope, or it's going to be 7-3. We'll see.
Yeah,
but I'm going to go Cup over Debo, but Debo's still an awesome play. Half PPR, Chuba or Jalen Warren? Chuba. From Nick O, Zamir or Chuba? PPC.
Zamir, PPC, Zamir gives you one of the highest floors of any running back in that you could play in PPC.
The Masternator is back. I had to say the name again. I need to grow up. All right, Ayuk or Scary Terry?
Scary Terry. Tony has 7 receptions this week for Scary Terry.
From Lurs, 7 receptions for 32 yards. From Lurs, full PPR, Keenan or Sutton?
Sutton. I'm not playing Keenan in any lineup. I'm sure I have him in somewhere, but I don't want to start him.
Yeah, Keenan. Keenan was the guy that I was blanking on earlier. Keenan, Lockett, Hopkins, Ayuk. Those are my main concerns.
Yeah,
this week at wide receiver, I think. Rashad White or Mike Evans at flex, full PPR.
Rashad White. I I think Mike Evans' ceiling is definitely higher than White's, but in full PPR, you could end up getting 4 to 5. Well, we hope receptions for White. We'll see after this game up. All of a sudden, we see a lot of like Bucky Irving out there on passing down situations. This is going to completely change next week, and it'll be Mike Evans 100%. But let's give it 1 week and let's play the running back.
Dude, this chat has been awesome today.
Oh, it's been crazy.
It's week 1. Again, the first episode of this, and it has been absolutely fantastic. Again, if you're watching, hit the like button. And then if there's things you didn't like, let us know in the comments after the show.
Let John know. Leave me out.
Let me know. All right. Ladd or Curtis Samuel? I'm Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel, yes, sir.
Addison or Deontay Johnson? Like Addison is such a ceiling play. Like he could have 3 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He could have 3 catches, 30 yards. I'm going to take Deontay Johnson in a majority of situations here.
Yeah, I'm definitely Deontay Johnson. I think he's just a really strong play. But I mean, you look at the tight ends. I mean, Jatavian Sanders, like, yeah, he might get targets because they don't have anybody else, right? And then maybe we see some Xavier again or Mingo or something, but I'll play Deontay Johnson here. It looks like everyone else is pretty much agreeing to besides Sleeper.
Yeah, fairly close together, but Sleeper coming out just ahead. But I'm going to go Nate, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I really appreciate that.
Durko, DJ Moore or Godwin? Put my Godwin love to the test. I'm going to go Godwin.
Are you?
Yep.
I'm going Godwin too. I mean, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm still going Godwin.
Jeremy, I got to talk to Jeremy over there. I got to talk to the Dynasty Daddy. I don't like that. But again, this is all based on, this has been a fantastic resource. And no. But I giving Jeremy a hard time, but it's gathering all of the projections from all these sites. So really, I need to be reaching out to Sleeper, Number Fire, Yahoo, FanDuel, and DraftKings because Fantasy Pros, they have them even. But I'm going to go Chris Godwin.
You know what? I'll go DJ Moore on this one.
Why?
Because
of Dynasty Daddy? Is that why?
Going back to Justin Fields, playing with him, we saw Justin Fields was awful last year, but his stats were good because DJ Moore would get a catch and run for a 60-yard touchdown. We saw that happen multiple weeks. They would throw like a wide receiver screen to DJ Moore, and he would just be off to the races and get a touchdown, right? I don't see Godwin doing that. You go back through Godwin last year, and I know he didn't always play in the slot. Yes, he is always going to play in the slot this year. There is a range of outcomes to where he gets 6 catches for 60 yards. He doesn't get a touchdown. To where DJ Moore can take 1 catch for a touchdown a lot more likely. Godwin has always been really bad at scoring touchdowns. This isn't a new thing for him. He gets like 3 a year, and that's just what he does.
His... he requires a few more targets to get those touchdowns up.
Without a doubt, he does. And is he really going to get that many more than DJ Moore? Probably not. I'm trying to persuade you here, John. I'm trying to be like, you know what, Mitch? You're right. DJ Moore's the play, but I don't think you're going to do it.
I'm standing firm on Chris Godwin here. All right, from Andre, Yoshivas or Brandon Cooks PPR?
Brandon Cooks.
Gosh.
I think it's extremely close. I really do.
I will. Oh my God. I'm going to go Yoshivas.
You really?
I am.
Dude, I don't want to put him in my lineups week 1. Like, I just don't. I'm okay being a little bit stubborn on that.
That's fine. I'll go Yoshivas here. PPR, no tight end premium, Njoku or Taysom Hill?
Njoku. I know Njoku wasn't good with Watson in the lineup last year, and he was really good with Joe Flacco. I'm just kind of refusing to believe that Njoku won't be good with Watson, so I'll play Watson this week.
Really quick trade question. Take any early second for Fields?
Yes.
Assume 12-team Superflex?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is when you get out of him. Look, look at
I have one share left across my portfolio.
So since we don't have any more questions, if you guys have them, throw them in. You have 5 more minutes. Here's the thing with Justin Fields, right? He's going against the Atlanta Falcons. It's supposedly kind of a high-scoring game, but not really, but it should be. Like, this point total should be 46, 47 points. It's not because Justin Fields is the quarterback for the Steelers. So in my view, this is the time to get out of it.
Yeah, I thought the over under would move a little bit because when the question marks with Russ, it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the line hasn't really moved. But again, you know, when the NFL tells us that, hey, this is what Justin Fields is worth, there's that discrepancy between fantasy football and the NFL side of it and the lines from a betting perspective. So mystical 0.5 point tight end premium, Pitts or Godwin for the last flex spot.
Godwin.
I'll go Godwin here too.
Yeah, I mean, if Pitts was my tight end, yeah, I'll throw him in, right? But I'm not putting Pitts in a flex position if I don't have to this week. I'll wait till next week. I'm okay taking that L if I have to after this week.
All right, Mitch, you can answer this one so that there's no lines involved from Nico. Baker or Geno?
I think Geno's upside's a lot higher. I will go Geno.
I thought we were going to say that in unison.
You're going Baker?
Yeah,
it's close, but I do believe. I mean, Bo Nix can go out and throw. I mean, you could say the same thing about Jane Daniels too, right? They go out and throw interceptions, give short fields. I'm going Geno.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
All right, John, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Well, actually, I have more of a statement than a question. We'll see if you actually agree with me on this. I'm very surprised. Maybe it's just because it's week 1. We haven't had really quarterback injuries. We didn't get any Sam Darnold questions. And while people will laugh about that, Jordan Addison is a good wide receiver too. Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Aaron Jones is good at catching the ball. I think Sam Darnold is actually...
You didn't mention Johnny Munn?
Now, believe it or not, no, I couldn't even tell you who their tight end is at this point. But I think Sam Darnold is actually a really, really good play this week going against that Giants defense. I think I really, really like it. I just don't have a lot of Sam Darnold to actually put in my lineups is the only issue. But I like him. You know, I like him more than, say, Bo Nix, right? I'd play him over Bo Nix without hesitation.
Let's just go through Dynasty Daddy, Sam Darnold over Nix. Dynasty Daddy, Sam Darnold, 67 to 33% over Aaron Rodgers. Would you go Sam Darnold or Justin Herbert this week?
I'd go Sam Darnold. I know it sounds crazy, and I mean, I think it's stupid. I hope Justin Herbert goes out and throws 4 interceptions. We all look like idiots because he has that much talent, and we should have that much faith in him. But until he does it, I will play Sam Darnold over him, right?
Thank you, Lurs.
Oh, yep.
Chase Brown or Najee Harris, 0.5 PPR. Najee Harris. I hope
gonna go Chase Brown.
I hope Scott's not watching because I don't want to start any rivalry there. But
oh yeah, that's true. That's true. You being the huge Pittsburgh Steeler fan, we all know that you are.
Dude, I'm all Pittsburgh now.
For me, it's Chase Brown because I think 3 to 4 catches is in his wheelhouse with T. Higgins being out. Who knows if Yoshiva's even good? I would love to say, hey, Gesicki's going to go out there and run a lot of routes. They have 4 tight ends they could put on the field at any time. So I like Chase Brown.
All right. Last question here. And then we've talked about liking the video. We've talked about subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to do that. But then also, after we see the results, drop a comment on the video. Let us know, like, hey, dudes, went with what you said. Worked out well. Or you screwed me.
Let us know that you're winning the week. That's what we need to know.
We are here to be winning the week. All right. From the drummer here, pick one, full PPR. Ayuk, Chuba, or Palmer?
Chuba.
I'll go Chuba 2, and then I lied. We'll get one more question here before we jump off the air here on the DD Fantasy Football YouTube channel, where we're going to be hijacking it every single Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. From Eric, Devontae Adams or DK Metcalf as his wide receiver 3, full PPR.
You know, if Adams had a little bit more work in the preseason, I would say Adams, but Metcalf just has the rapport with Geno, so I'll go Metcalf.
I'm going to go Devontae Adams, so it's not going to
can't really go wrong with either of the guys. To
with that. Let's see, tiebreaker here over to Dynasty Daddy Start Sit tool. I mean, they're within like half a point on every projection site, but they go Devontae Adams over DK Metcalf. Again, thank you guys so much for being active in the chat. 90 minutes flew by. We hit every single question. I can't wait to go back and see the results. For Mitch Sorensen, I'm John Bauer. Hopefully everybody has a fantastic week 1. We'll catch you next week. Peace.